dear students, myself Gangadhar Solanke, and I welcome you all to the MCGM's virtual classroom. My dear students, today in Standard 8's History, we'll be learning the topic Social and Religious Reforms. Now here, one thing which is very important to understand is that the meaning of the word reform, which means to change a system or the law for the betterment of people or to make it better. And when we say social and religious reforms, it means that the actions taken by social reformers and the religious reformers for the betterment of the people and for the betterment of the society. And about that we are going to study in this topic. So along with the spread of English education, there was spread of new thoughts, new ideas and new philosophy. Indians were also introduced to Western thoughts and culture, and due to it there were changes in social, religious, economic and cultural aspects of Indian society. Because English education was started, British people were there in our country, and there was comparison between the Indian education and the British education, comparison between the Indian culture and the Western culture or the Western thought process, and all these things play an important role in the social and religious reforms of our country. The modern educated Indians became aware that the backwardness of India was due to the superstitions, casteism, old customs, class system and lack of critical outlook. Now if we want to change the things, then what we have to do? We have to take education, we have to stop blind faith and also criticize the world customs and the things which are in the path of our development. The same thing happened in the past also. जिन लोगों ने एजुकेशन लिया था उन्हें ये बात समझ में आ गई कि फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ सोसाइटी इट इज़ वेरी important to take education and to stop the things like superstitions, casteism, old customs, class system and lack of critical outlook. It was necessary to eradicate the flaws and undesirable tendency for progress of the country and to create a new society. New society of what? Based on the principles of humanity, equality and fraternity. Equality, humanity and fraternity. Before that in our system there was casteism, there was discrimination on the basis of rich and poor class, on the basis of religion and on the basis of men and women. The educated thinkers started social awareness through writings to solve the various problems in the society, and the intellectual awakening, this word is very important. Intellectual awakening is always very important in the society, and the thing here also same happened. Intellectual awakening in the contemporary society is called Indian Renaissance. Means that the new thoughts emerged in the society or in the field of social and religion. In this era of religious and social reforms, the first thing, Brahmo Samaj. In 1828, Raja Ram Mohan Roy established the Brahmo Samaj in Bengal. He had studied many languages and religions. Through it, his ideology of Advait philosophy was developed, and monotheism, that is the belief that only one God is there. Caste and class equality, protests against rituals and following the way of prayers were the principles of Brahmo Samaj. And the Raja Ram Mohan Roy, who opposed sati practice, child marriage and the Parda system. He promoted widow remarriage and female education. Now, by comparing the today's social circumstances in our society and जो उस वक्त की सिचुएशन थी, वो दोनों कंपेयर करके आप समझ सकते हैं कि कितना हार्ड रहा होगा इन सोशल और रिलीजियस रिफॉर्मर्स के लिए ये सब बदलना. He founded Hindu College in Kolkata and he created public awareness through the newspaper Samvad Kaumudi. So his newspaper played an important role in awareing the people for the betterment of society. Now next to the Brahmo Samaj, Prarthana Samaj. Dadoba Pandurang Tarkhadkar established Prarthana Samaj in Mumbai in 1848. Actually it was Paramhans Sabha, but later Paramhans Sabha was dissolved and some of its members founded the Prarthana Samaj. Dadoba's brother Dr. Atmaram Pandurang was the first president of Prarthana Samaj. The prestige of the institution increased due to the enrollment of young graduates from Mumbai University. Continuously young graduates from Mumbai University enrolled in the Prarthana Samaj, and that's why its importance or the prestige increased. And due to the people who took education, they spread the thoughts and the new ideas and the new philosophy. Justice Ranade, Dr. R.G. Bhandarkar carried forward the work of Prarthana Samaj, and the opposition to idol worship, monotheism, opposition to rituals were the principles of Prarthana Samaj. Near about same like Brahmo Samaj. They stressed on devotion and prayers. So here the main thing which we have to understand in this topic is the key points of that particular Samaj, like Brahmo Samaj or the Prarthana Samaj or the Satyashodak Samaj. For reforming the society, Prarthana Samaj started orphanage, women's education institutes, night schools for workers and society for Dalits. So here one thing again which we have to understand, that the education was the key to change the society, and each and every social worker stressed on it. In this, Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde, a member of Prarthana Samaj, established depressed classes mission, and through the mission an attempt was made to solve the social problems. Then the next and the important in Indian history, Satyashodak Samaj by Mahatma Jyotirao Phule, who started this Samaj in 1873. Satyashodak Samaj worked on the principle of formation of society on the basis of equality. If we study the society of that particular period, then we can understand that the casteism was at the peak, और उस casteism को दूर करने के लिए Satyashodak Samaj worked a lot. They protested against untouchability and they advocated education among the depressed classes and women. Mahatma Phule reformed the society through the medium of books like Brahmananche Kasab, Gulamgiri, Setkaryancha Asud and Sarvajanik Satyadharma. In the Sarvajanik Satyadharma, he put forward his theory or the philosophy of Satyashodak Samaj. He surely criticized the traditions and customs. जो भी हम follow कर रहे हैं, is it right or wrong? And that made discrimination between man and woman, or rather human being himself. Next to this, Arya Samaj, Arya Samaj was founded by Swami Dayanand Saraswati in 1875, and he wrote the book Satyarth Prakash. Here you can see, as a commentary on Vedas. So the philosophy or the theory of Arya Samaj was based on the Vedas. Ancient Vedic religion is true religion, which had no place for casteism, and there existed gender equality. So go back to the Vedas was the slogan of Arya Samaj. Then next to this, Ramakrishna Mission. Ramakrishna Mission was established by Swami Vivekanand, a close disciple of Ramakrishna Paramhans, and he started this mission in 1897. Ramakrishna Mission worked for the service to the society through different ways, and for this the mission worked for providing help to the famine stricken people, patients, medical help to the poor, female education, and spiritual growth. In our society, the thoughts of Swami Vivekananda. Here you can see, Swami Vivekananda was an excellent orator, and he attended the Parliament of Religions at Chicago in 1893 as representative of Hinduism, and there he started his speech with the "My dear brothers and sisters," which was very, very, very famous. "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is achieved," was the message given by him to the Indian youth. The next thing, emancipation of women. But before that, social reforms among the Sikhs also taken, and in that the Singh Sabha was established at Amritsar to achieve reforms in Sikh religion. This institute worked for spread of education among the Sikh community and bring in modernization among them, and later then the Akali movement continued their tradition of reformation. Now if we talk about the emancipation of women, during the expansion of British rule in India, the position of women was very miserable. सभी कस्टम्स और ट्रेडिशंस जो थे उनके सेंटर में वुमेन ही थी. स्लेवरी ज़्यादा से ज़्यादा उन्हें ही फेस करनी पड़ती थी. एजुकेशन उन्हें अलाउ नहीं था. बहुत सारे ऐसे राइट्स थे जो उनको नहीं दिए जाते थे. दे हैड नो राइट ऑफ एजुकेशन. दे वर नॉट treated equally. There was discrimination on the basis of sex, that is male and female. Child marriage, dowry system, sati, cash weapon, opposition to widow marriage, such customs prevailed in the society, and it was very necessary to change all these things to bring women into the flow. The then Governor Lord Bentinck took help of social reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy to pass the Sati Prohibition Act. Then Gopal Hari Deshmukh, popularly known as Lokhitwadi, advocated gender equality through his writings in Shatapatre. So one thing we can understand here, newspapers played an important role in awareing the people on different issues. Then in 1848, Mahatma Phule started the first school for girls at Bhidewada in Pune. Here you can see. His wife Savitribai Phule supporting him. Savitribai Phule had to face great criticism from the society because she was started giving education to the girls. Mahatma Phule established the Bal Hatya Pratibandhak Gruh in his own house. He conducted a strike against the custom of saving the heads of the widows. So here the first school started by the Mahatma Phule played very important role in the progress of women. Then for gaining permission to widow remarriage, Pandit Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, Vishnu Chastri Pandit and Veer Selingam took up special efforts. In his newspaper, Sudharak Gopal Ganesh Agarkar gave his strong opinion about child marriage, law of consent, and Maharshi Vitthal Ramji Shinde organized a conference against the practice of Devdasi, and the very important writer of that period who wrote the first modern Indian feminist text, Tarabai Shinde, in her book Stri Purush Tulna, fiercely put up her views about women's right. Next to that, Maharshi Dhondo Karve started Anath Balikashram, an orphanage for girls. His intention was to give education to all women and make them stand on their own feet, which was the important thought. And for that, उन्होंने सिर्फ ये thought ही सामने नहीं रखा, बल्कि through his efforts, the first women's university was set up in the 20th century. That is the SNDT Women's University. Then Pandita Ramabai founded the Sharda Sadan and took up the responsibility of taking care of disabled children and women. Ramabai Ranade, through the medium of Seva Sadan Institute, started the nursing course for women. She demanded the right of vote for women. तो आज की सिचुएशन हम सोचेंगे और तब की अगर सोचेंगे तो आज हर किसी को आफ्टर 18 ईयर्स वोट करने का अधिकार है, लेकिन उस वक्त वुमेन को वोट करने का अधिकार नहीं था. इट वॉज डिमांडेड बाय द रमाबाई रानडे. देन इन दिस Dr. Ambedkar spoke about the injustice towards women. Mahatma Gandhi also advocated education of women, and women have given valuable contribution during the freedom movement. Women's reform movement helped in closing down many unjust practicing in the society, and the voice for problems against the women broke out. Women started putting up their own thoughts through their writings, and their performance in every sectors of life flourished due to education. Next thing, religious reforms among the Muslims. Abdul Latif started the social reform among the Muslim community, and for that he established the Mohammedan Literary Society in Bengal. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan founded the Mohammedan Anglo-Orient College. It later developed into the Aligarh Muslim University. He advocated Western science and technology. He firmly believed that Muslims could make progress only by studying modern education and science. Today also, all these thoughts or things are very important. अभी भी अगर हमें प्रोग्रेस करना है, डेवलप करना है, तो इन सारी चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखना बहुत ज़रूरी है. एजुकेशन, साइंटिफिक थॉट्स एंड क्रिटिसिज्म, एंड नॉट टू फॉलो द सुपरस्टिशंस. देन मूवमेंट इन हिंदू सोसाइटी. In 1915, Hindu Mahasabha was established to give a respectable position to the Hindu community, and for that Pandit Madan Mohan Malviya laid the foundation of Banaras Hindu University. Dr. Keshav Baliram Hedgewar in 1925 established Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh at Nagpur, and its aim was to set up a disciplinary and virtuous organization of Hindu youth. Then V.D. Savarkar built the Patit Pavan temple at Ratnagiri, open to all castes of Hindu religion. Common dining programs were also arranged. So all these efforts taken by our social reformers changed our society, or together we called it as Indian Renaissance. किसी एक particular रिफॉर्म की वजह से नहीं, बल्कि सारे रिफॉर्मर्स ने जो प्रयास किए, ट्राई किया, उसकी वजह से टुडे वी आर हैविंग सच अ beautiful society without discrimination on the basis of caste and religion, and togetherly we unite always as Indian. So in today's topic we discussed about the era of religious and social reforms, and in that Brahmo Samaj, Prarthana Samaj, Satyashodak Samaj, Arya Samaj, Ram Krishna Mission, social reforms among the Sikhs, in emancipation of women, names like Gopal Hari Deshmukh, Savitribai Phule, Maharshi Karve are very important. In religious reforms among the Muslims, Abdul Latif and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan played very important role, and in the movement in Hindu society, Hindu Mahasabha is the important one. In the history of modern India, the movement of Renaissance is very important, and on the principles of liberty, equality and nationalism, the Indian social reformers set up a nationwide political movement, and the study of this movement we'll do in the next chapter.
Please subscribe the channel and press bell icon to get notifications.
So my dear students, this is all for today. Thank you very much. Stay home, stay safe, take care.